Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Night Moves. This is Ramon Scott keeping you company tonight as we break down the best angles, the sharpest numbers, and those overnight moves that you have to be on top of to make sure you're winning sports better. Before we get rolling, I want to invite all of you, yes, you folks tuning in to me right now, to stick around, enjoy the show, and be part of our growing community here at Tony's Picks. Whether you're here for the late night breakdowns, insight from myself or my guest handicappers, or you just like hanging out with us, you're always welcome to join us here live on Night Moves and be a part of our chat room as well as we answer your questions and comments about the games coming up and about our website, tonyspicks.com. And hey, do us a solid, hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. It helps more than you know. Like it, share it, subscribe, and make sure you're joining us here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We've recently passed a 50,000 subscriber mark. And with your support, we're getting closer every day to new milestones here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Help us reach that milestone by sharing the stream, invite a friend, or just tap the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And that makes you a part of our Tony's Picks family on all of the shows here on the channel. All right, settle in, relax, and let's make some smart moves tonight here on Night Moves. This is Ramon Scott, and you're watching Night Moves on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, and let's get to the action. Man, what an interesting game here between the 49ers and the Colts here on Monday night in Indy. The line's a little wrong there. I've had this thing typed up for a couple days. 5.5 here currently. That's how long I prepare for the show. 5.5 and 46 right here with the 49ers and the Colts. That at least shows you a little bit of a real-time move here. So let's talk about it. Get your opinions in the chat as well for this one as we get ready to take a look at tonight's game here at Lucas Oil Stadium here on Monday night. You'd have the two teams kind of going in, I don't want to say opposite directions. We know the Colts here are hanging on, but again, they've, kind of just squandered their whole season here. Not necessarily their fault. I mean, you got to feel like if Daniel Jones was still in there, the hiccups that they've had, the talk about Richardson coming back, I don't think it's necessarily a blowing smoke. One of the things that the Colts are experiencing a little bit, it might be too late now, obviously, and you're going with Phillip Rivers here tonight, but they said that there's some real, when you bring a guy like Phillip Rivers in, he's really working with these guys. Remember, he's a football coach first and foremost right now, and I don't think nobody thinks there's I don't know, maybe ungenuine in the fact that, Phillip never cusses out there or he's Mr. Goody Two Shoes or whatever, but pretty real dude if you know him. I've interacted with Phillip quite a bit. He used to come in and play poker when I was dealing back in the day. When he was one year he got injured the whole season. He'd come in every week while he was walking around in his boot. Couldn't really do much. I think he's a pretty cool dude, actually. But the Colts are looking to snap this losing streak right now at home in a must-win game, no doubt. Make no mistake. But still, even if they win, they're going to be hard-pressed to make the playoffs. So really, this is just about getting through here and maybe coming up with one more win. All you can do is, win the game and hope for the best here. The Colts right now, just an 11% chance if they win the game, 5% chance right now, 2% chance to make the playoffs if they lose, and their fate won't even be in their own hands here at this time. But nonetheless, they're going to be home trying to rebound from a late season slump. Remember, they were 7-1 here. San Francisco, meanwhile, comes in 4-game winning streak and, just dominant as a road favorite this year for the 49ers, 6-2. Between Purdy and Jones, and really the big problem for the 49ers, kind of crazy, right? Because I was on a show earlier today, and it was ironic that one of the guys that I partner up with I had talked about it too on some other shows that the Niners look very, very interesting in the range of 15 to 18 to 1 right now to win the Super Bowl. I'm not necessarily picking the 49ers to win the Super Bowl, but their path to the Super Bowl is becoming a bit easier and a little bit more in focus. And remember, the Super Bowl is in San Francisco this season, but I just thought they provided a lot of value, and this handicapper agreed with me, and or I agreed with him too. He's the one that brought it up, but I had already placed a futures bet on the 49ers at this price range. So look, their problem is their defense, right? But they've got such a good organization and front office that they're actually able to piece in new guys. Look, you're never going to be able to replace the guy in front of you, but they come through a little bit with still quality guys, and I really think that they are still in a pretty good position here. Now, this is going to be a tough game, actually, for the 49ers, no matter how you look at it. Just going into Lucas Oil here, the Colts are pretty darn good. They are 4-1 against the spread as a dog this year, 4-2 against the spread at home, 6-1 straight up at home. So I think they're still kind of all right in this position, especially getting almost a touchdown here in this game. Now, Philip Rivers, it's painful to watch, especially a big Philip Rivers fan like I am. I told the story here last week, but I think it's worth telling. I mean, I saw Philip Rivers on his second day of practice in the NFL. Of course, we knew him out of North Carolina State. The Chargers drafted him. I was with a friend at the Chargers practices for his rookie season. We were ready to see what we had with this guy, and because we felt like he might be something. We went out there, man, and we were totally impressed. Maybe that's why I've been a fan of his for so long and the career that he had. So, look, right now he's out there shot putting the ball. I can't make it up. You probably have seen it already. It's painful to watch, but here's a man who's totally aware of his surroundings in the pocket, if you will, has all the rules of the game down, knows how to get rid of the ball, throw it away. Is he susceptible to interceptions? Yeah. But the 49ers problem really right now is the defense this season in general, because of the injuries that they've had. A lot of injuries. Some of the best players in the league are out of the 49ers lineup almost all the second half of the season because of the defensive injuries. And it's reflected somewhat now, not lately, but they did hammer a couple of, Carolina and Cleveland like you're supposed to. And they clobbered Arizona too. They beat Tennessee. This is a weak schedule they've had here during this 4-game winning streak, no doubt about it. But it's only helped them kind of build up this record at 10-4. So I still think it's going to be tough. The Colts, obviously, with a staunch running game coming into this one, and Philip can get it done. These receivers are actually pretty spectacular that the Colts have, from Michael Pittman to Downs to Pierce, who's definitely going up and getting the ball. San Francisco's pretty decent at guarding ones and twos in the skill position, and the Colts, that's they have some shortcomings too. Jawan Jennings could get going here a little bit. Again, the 49ers, their receiving core is a little bit short too here. You're going with Jennings, Demarcus Robinson, Kendrick Bourne. Kittle certainly is a top target, and the Colts are not very good at defending tight ends. So maybe that's a little bit of advantage as well in this one, at least for the 49ers offense here. But you got to figure this is a close game, man. I mean, look, I'm saying the Niners are pretty good. Watch out, maybe even taken for the Super Bowl. But are they really a touchdown favorite over this team that's had a pretty darn good season, and it's only kind of ended because of the injury to Jones there a little bit, and then you had to go with a subpar quarterback? You still look. I can't sit here and tell you that Philip is going to totally do it here, but 49ers been beating up teams. Just mentioned all those games there. You got a guy like Purdy in here. Niners 5-0. ATS is a road favorite. 12-6-1. Last 19 is a road favorite. Will mention just 7-10 against the spread against AFC teams. 3-11 against the spread after a win, but their recent dominance as a road favorite kind of plays into the script a little bit. But again, you kind of get lost in these non-conference games a little bit when you're not playing in division. You've already clinched here if you're the Niners, and you're not probably not going to go up, right? You're trailing the Seahawks here and the Rams at this point. So yeah, you'd like to pass the Rams if you can with two games and get as high as you can. But I don't know if there's a. I'm not saying there's not a lot to play for. You do want to try to get in there and get a home game there if you're the and be the top wild card, but that might be tough too. We'll see. So see what you have in the chat if you want to comment on the game here between these two. Colts have lost, I said, 5 of their last 6. No TDs last week. They lost to Seattle 18-16, and Rivers, that was his first game in 5 years. So they are, as I said, pretty good straight up at home. 7-6 ATS is a home underdog. Their last 13. Last 4 games, their total yards, don't look at it, man. Basically averaging about 250 yards in their last 4 games overall. But Colts, just like the 49ers, 6-13 against the spread against non-conference competition, and they haven't really played that well when they played the Niners over the years. But they have won the last 5 series matchups, though, I think. Let me see. I was thinking long term. Yeah, 4 straight over them. Okay, you got me there. The last one was back in 21. Long term, the 49ers have the edge because that's all time. But Colts straight up home strength, I think, is real here. And I'm going to take the Colts in this one to stay in the game here. Look, you got guys like McCaffrey, Kittle, and Purdy to push them over the hump here. It feels like right now, and get this win for sure on the road. But I just think the Colts bring a little bit more to the table than just a 44-year-old quarterback here. So let's see what you got in the chat with me. I appreciate everybody here joining me on Night Moves tonight for a good Monday night game. Go to the chat here, say hello to some more folks also coming in. And who else is here? Hector's on fire. He's ready to go. Let's see here. Trying to find the plays. Here we go. The Incarnate. Love that. The Incarnate. That's the Bay Area, I think, right there. Is that the Bay Bridge right there? Incarnate over 49ers money line and over 46. And Hector likes the Colts money line. Easy. Old Gaffer coming to us from the UK this morning. Thank you. And Michael says he likes Rivers, that the Colts, they can turn around that momentum. Says Colts have momentum. I mean, I don't think he means that, maybe Rivers bring a little bit of energy. Obviously, the Colts have been losing these games here of late. Tough schedule, KC, Houston, Jacksonville, and Seattle. You could argue that, those teams are pretty rugged. Even the Colts, they did cover against the Colts, if anything, even though they lost that game to them. And Mr. Wesker's right. And also, though, Mr. Wesker's Shane Steichen. I remember these guys were together in San Diego, Rivers and Shane Steichen. So not just the Colts organization, I think. Because remember, some people were saying, he's going back to the Colts, but they had a different coach back then. Well, now they actually have, I think the familiarity is a little better with Shane Steichen in there. But like I said, this is a tough Niners team. You know it. All right. Any other plays here from you guys? Shanahan here says, look, Mr. West was talking about Shanahan. I just think this organization is, it's all about the moves that they make, right? Even through these injuries, they just keep pumping them in there, putting new guys up, and they come through a little bit. Really bummed to see, my man Fred Warner. I mean, look at if he could be on this team here right now, and the other stars that they've had on defense. Hector says, Mac Jones might be better. He might, Hector, but gonna have to make a decision with the Niners too. Purdy's the man you're paying the bigger contract too. There's no reason why these guys can't, maybe stay together here. It's kind of interesting here and where Jones is at in his career. I'm sure he would like to be the man, right? All right, and let's see, under for Michael in this one. Mr. Wester's Rivers is throwing a knuckleball out there, right? A floating duck there. And you know what? They weren't too far off from that when he left, too, right? Jennings TD, Purdy interception, 24-20 says Greg. We don't know which side, but he likes a 4-point game there. All right. Let's see here. Michael says the Jags a good chance of being the AFC champs. I'm still on the Patriots in that one. I think even tonight it helped. Look, that was a loss to Buffalo at home, no doubt about it. I thought that the Patriots would beat the Bills. I got a lot of confidence back tonight with the Patriots. Right now, Diggs looking really great, looking good out there. They had some problems defensively for once, and I'm sure that Coach was tired of seeing his old running back Derrick Henry running all over him a little bit, saying, "Man, I wish I had him back on this team." And the Colts are gonna rock ya. Let's see here. Hector does like a little bit of the Jaguars personnel. Good to see you guys in here. 49ers says there. Mr. Western says taking the 49ers against the spread. And yeah, right. He just gets it done with some guys in there that weren't going to be in there, huh? All right, you guys, really appreciate the comments in the chat. I know that ran a little long on that game, but got kind of a short card and a pretty good game here. All right, San Francisco, yeah, it could be stepping it up. Rams and Bills, says Michael tonight. Good, thank you, Michael. Also, Greg says Arizona almost beat the Colts with a backup quarterback, or was that their starting quarterback? I was saying on a stream earlier, there are 32 teams in the NFL, one quarterback per team, right? So you have basically 32 jobs, and only about 15 guys do it effectively, right? Maybe 10 at a world-class level. Talk about a specific job, huh? A pro football quarterback. Taylor over for Timmy Two Shoe. Mr. Wesker says he does like Jones more. Yeah, maybe, but this is what the situation is. They're going to kind of stick with it. All right, C-Mac for a TD, says Stan. Could be a bit of a running back showdown here, right? Hector likes what he saw for. Hey, look, I mean, if I was going to throw a 45-year-old out there, I'd say, hey, at least it looks like that, right? Somebody said to bring Phillip Rivers back, and they said Rivers in an interview a few weeks ago says that he's been running. He's also coaching high school football, and he said that in his drills, or when he demonstrates a drill, he has to throw left-handed because he can't put his arm over his shoulder anymore. How about the Chargers and the Rams in the Super Bowl? Here's the funny thing, Greg. What happens if both of those teams no, I don't think they can host it, right? There was something about but they could go to the host a round game or something that they could have a schedule. They have to make sure, because the Chargers and the Rams might play at the same time, and they might have to bump one of the games because it's all set, the seeds and what day they're supposed to play. There's a reason why the Houston Texans have played the Saturday game in the NFL playoffs when they make it for like the last 15 years, right? Because the teams are kind of slotted in. But the Chargers and the Rams, they might have to bump it a little bit if they end up playing, like if they're assigned the same day at home. Could happen. I believe they said one of the rounds or something like that. Remember, the Chargers are renters, right? Kroenke owns the building. The Chargers, they just rent. So nothing wrong with renters. They just don't own. All right. I think we got through all your comments there that I saw. That thanks a lot, you guys. Ayuk, yeah, what a disaster the Ayuk situation though is, right, Mr. Weskers? All right. That's it for that one, and I'll take The Colts here plus the points. They'll grind it out. This is going to be a close game. Close game. But I like this Niners team, and I like their chances here to maybe pull off some surprises here. It's going to be a great NFC playoffs. Wow.
Thank you for watching. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you're looking for Ramon's best bets and his premium picks, be sure to click the link in the description to take you right over to Ramon's handicapper page at tonyspicks.com.